that Arizona-Kansas State ball game. It was a good game in the first half. So Kansas State ends up winning the football game 31-7. So really, let's look at the stats here just to get an idea of how this game went. First downs 21-16 Kansas State. Third down efficiency Kansas State 7-13, Arizona 5-14. Fourth down efficiency Kansas State 1 of 1, Arizona 1 of 4. Total yards K-State 393 to 324 of Arizona. And then you look at the passing yards. And this is where Arizona is a passing team. You got Noah Fafita as your quarterback. I mean, you got McMillan, who's your really good receiver. 268 yards through the air for Arizona, 156 for Kansas State. So right there, so far, we'll get into the quarterback stats and that kind of thing here in just a minute. But big thing here, Arizona one interception to none of Kansas State. Then you look at the run game. Kansas State 237 to get this, 56 of Arizona. Arizona only ran the ball 19 times to 40 attempts by Kansas State. If you look at the penalties, Arizona 9 for 74 and Kansas State 3 for 20. And then, of course, the turnovers, one interception thrown by Arizona to none of Kansas State. So, what do I think about this ball game? I think what you saw is Kansas State was just a better team last night. And when you commit 9 penalties, you're not going to win a ball game. That's just the honest truth about football, is that 9 penalties, you're not going to win very much at all. So, you look at the box score. We'll go to that. Noah Fafita, 26 of 42, 268, 1 interception, no touchdowns thrown. The only touchdown came from Quali Conley. He had 14 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown. Noah Fafita carried the ball 3 times for 5 yards, and Kedrick Riscano 2 carries for 3 yards. And then you look at the receiving for Arizona. McMillan, 11 receptions, 138 yards. Montana Lemoyne Craig, 6 for 75. Rayshawn Luke, 2 for 19. Kedrick Riscano, 2 for 14. Chris Hunter, 1 for 12. Devin Hyatt, 1 for 6. Sam Olsen, 1 for 5. Quali Conley, 1 for 2. So that's your offensive production last night for Arizona. And then you look at Kansas State. Avery Johnson, 14 of 23, 2 touchdowns off of 156 passing yards. And then Avery Johnson ran the ball himself 17 times for 110 yards. DJ Giddens, 1786 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Edwards, 6 for 41. And then you look at the receiving. Jace Brown, 3 for 60. Braden Lofton, 3 for 45 and a touchdown. Keegan Johnson, 2 for 22. Dante Cephas, 1 for 9. Jane Jackson, 1 for 8. Will Swanson, 2 for 6. Trey Spivey, 1 for 3. And Dylan Edwards, 1 for 3. So, overall, you saw 2 very different contrasts of play last night. Arizona, like we said, they want to throw the ball all over the field. So, they did that effectively. They just couldn't get in the end zone. Kansas State, on the other hand, they want to be a run-heavy team who's going to grind it out on the ground. And you got a very mobile quarterback in Avery Johnson who you can do that with. So it's very interesting for sure just to see how these guys played last night. But yeah, Kansas State, they're ranked higher than Arizona in the AP poll. So, they were expected. This is a home game. For Arizona, I'll say this. For your first game in conference in the Big 12, it's kind of a sad result if you think about it, because there was a lot of optimism for you this season. And, I'm not saying they're done, but the top of the Big 12, I feel like you got Utah, who's like who in all reality, Utah is like the top of the top here. And then I feel like it's everyone else below that. So this is going to be interesting to see how the remainder of this season goes for Arizona. But I feel like it's definitely going to be difficult because if you get beat like this at Kansas State, then you've got a lot of challenges coming throughout the rest of this season for the Big 12. So Kansas State 31-7 over Arizona.